What's up, lads and ladettes? How we doing today? I hope you guys are doing fantastically well. So, we're going to be doing some hunting today, but we're going to be doing a daily, just a daily mission. We're going to be doing this Argonaut day, it's a research recovery daily mission. Essentially, we go into a cave that's just over here, and it's full of Argonauts. Lower level Argonauts, so most people should be able to do it. Like this chap, he's going to go in and do an instance, I reckon. But essentially, once you finish the mission, you'll get one daily token. So if you're hunting Argonauts, like, you know, if you're after their iron or the stone extractors, things like that, then make sure you're doing this daily each day. You know, do the daily. See what I did there? I did a funny. But anyway, so what can I expect from the cave? I don't think it's going to take more than 75 PED to sort it out. I don't think. But we have 75 PED. We have a daily weapon. It's always good to use the daily weapons to do the daily missions. For the simple fact that it then is a quote unquote free weapon, one might say. Because if you get enough of the daily tokens, then you can get the daily weapons. And as long as you use the right daily weapon for the right mob, then, you know, things are relatively all good in the hood. I do believe indeed. Anyway, so we're gonna head in. Let's equip our little shooty pistol. This one is, I think it was 40. Yeah, I'm fairly certain that one was 40. Yeah. Okay, so you know how it says 40 PEC on the right side? That's essentially how many daily tokens cost. So 40. What's this? Chicken. What of you guys? Maybe one of you guys from Twitch. Reckon you could do a vid on how to understand EU Wiki and how to use the Wiki to pick a mob to hunt. I could potentially do that. I mean, I have explained the Wiki before, but I will have to re-knowledge myself on a couple of the aspects. So what I might do is I might spend a couple of hours just perusing the Wiki, and then we'll be able to, and then I might be able to do like a quick vid to pick out what mobs you want to hunt. Now, it is an interesting one, the Wiki. The Wiki is an interesting one because people can go in and change things. So, you know, I might turn around and say, "Oh, hunt. You know, if you want to get iron ore without actually mining, just, you know, hunt the Argonauts and pray for the best." But then someone might go in and remove the iron ore from the list of things they can drop, which I have heard people doing that with certain mobs. To basically throw off new players and things like that, because you had people like me, Stevie B, to a degree, I think Lawspade and Serial Overdrive, and a couple of other people. I think Maury and I think DM Zone, things like that. Sorry, not things, people. We're not things, we're people. Basically putting out information about certain mobs, dropping certain things, and all that sort of stuff, and then, you know, telling people to look at the Wiki and to judge for themselves. But hey, tier 2 components. Sorry, tier 1 components. That's not a tier 2 component. 20 PEC of tier 1 component. That's good. I'm happy with that. Now, Argonauts are a really good one to hunt, especially if you're of a lower level, because you do get your tiering components, but you also get a couple of different higher markup. Couple of different, or just one? I know they drop the stone extractors, like the basic stone extractors, which I think sell for about 150%. But of course, like a lot of the things in the game, extractors are one of those things where you're gonna get them, but you're gonna get them in small PED lots. Not even PED, you'll get them in like small PEC lots. Especially on Calypso, because Calypso, a lot of your returns are going to come from, a lot of your loot returns is going to come from shrapnel. If you're lucky, it will be something else. But for the most part, you're going to be finding just a lot of You're gonna get a lot of shrapnel. That will vary as you go on. I think your looter skill helps to vary that, and I'm only level 24 in animal looter, so these are mutants, by the way. These I'm fairly certain they're classed as mutants, not animals. I'm fairly certain. But I'm not 100% certain. I could have sworn Argos were classed as mutants, but I got skinning from them, not scourging. Maybe that's a product of something else. Anyway, so yeah, so I might end up doing a video on the wiki, but not 100% sure. Not 100% sure. So I've got a few ideas in my. Well, I have a few plans. Some will be easier than others. So something like showing you how the wiki works. That will be a lot easier than say my ultimate my ultimate free-to-play guide sort of thing, because that'll be a little bit because there's a lot that goes into that. Like, when it comes to the free-to-play aspect of Entropia Universe, there is so much that goes into it, and some things slip people's minds. Like, even the most humblest of humble things, which is just sweating, slips a lot of people's minds. And I try to put it into perspective for some people, but they don't want to take the time. Alright, let's say you want to start investing in Entropia Universe, right? So a lot of people will start off with getting either the Arcadia Underground deeds, or getting something like the various shares. Speaking of, the shares, the new Treasure Island shares are now tradable, so if you wanna snag some up now, then now is the time to get it. Now is the time to get it. Because it did sell out really quickly, which I'm fairly certain was just a couple of guys that wanted to try to sweep up the market as much as possible to then sell at a higher cost later on down the line. That would be my guess on it, because I think right now it's selling for about 14 PED a share, which doesn't surprise me. I was expecting it to be closer to the 18 PED, because it's been fairly on par with Crystal Palace Space Station. And in fact, one of the share that's been the most golden out of the lot has been, in my opinion, the Ancient Greece shares. Because we've had a couple of doubles, and we also had a triple, where, as opposed to New Treasure Island, where we've seen singles and doubles, and I mean, we've seen singles for Ancient Greece as well, but Crystal Palace, I think I've only seen one double over the last 3 months, but I've seen them not pay out at all, and I've seen them do 1 PEC. So, in my opinion, the price of Crystal Palace at the moment, getting Crystal Palace doesn't seem like the greatest investment. I think at the moment, probably Ancient Greece would be your better bet, because they are doing a lot more stuff on Next Island, and I am actually planning on doing a large, not a large video, but I am planning on doing sort of not even a promotional piece, because I don't work for Next Island. I was thinking about doing sort of a large hour-and-a-half show of the potential of Next Island, because I do believe there's a lot of potential. And I want to talk to a couple of people that are very big when it comes to the Next Island stuff. I keep thinking I'm gonna say New Treasure Island, but just because they both got island. But no, Next Island is quite neato. It's quite neato. But anyway, so what was I saying? Yes, investment. Sorry, I got way off track then. When it comes to investment, a lot of people initially think, okay, well, how about I put in like 100 USD, get 1,000 or so PED, just under, or put in 110 USD and get just under 1,100 PED, and we'll get ourselves, you know, either 10 Arcadia Underground Deeds, or we'll get just under 110 Ancient Greece shares. And, you know, that will give us, you know, around about... Well, it actually really depends. Depending on the week, the Ancient Greece shares could do more. It really depends. But anyway, so, you know, they pick, oh, we'll get whatever one. You could do that, right? Because you want to get that 1 PED a week, approximately. Or that 11 PEC per day. But you know what? When it comes to things as low as PEC and PED, like 1 PED, or, you know, even 50 PEC, all you need to do is sweat. Like, with the 50 PEC, at the very, very, very minimum, right? Or actually, no, maximum. At the very maximum, you would only need to sweat 500 bottles of sweat. And depending on what planet you're on, that could be more. Like, I've heard, hey, 6 PED, that's not bad. Let's get a couple more of those. I have heard that Next Island is really good for sweaters. I need to double check that. But I have heard that it's really good for sweaters. Like that Next Island, the sweat sells for a lot more. But I think that is just the nature of Next Island, because it has the Lesser Elysia daily mission, right? So it has that daily mission. So people are going to want to buy the sweat because they want to get that I think it's the tailoring stuff up, right? So they want to do that. However, you know, they might not want to pay for they don't want to sweat the sweat themselves, because they're doing other things, you know, especially like the higher level players that aren't sweating anymore, but they just need to buy the sweat. So it could be well worth, like, if you're a sweater or even a swanter, it could be well worth doing it on Next Island. From what I've heard. But, you know, like, from just a little tiny bit of sweating, you make the equivalent of what you would get from, you know, the Arcadia Underground D, like, you know, 10, 1,000, 1,000 whatever PED worth of Arcadia Underground deeds. You'll make that in sweating. Like, the thing with shares and deeds, it's not really hard-hitting, like, impactful, until... It's not impactful until you are, like, you are getting, like, 100, like, 30, 100, 200 PED a week. It's like, that's when it becomes a little bit more, okay, cool. Don't need to really do much sweating anymore at all. Okay, sick. That, or you know, I don't need to deposit as much anymore. Sick. That's kind of where it starts to be a little bit of a turning point, right? But when you're only making like 2, 3 PED, you can make that from sweating, and the good thing is, you can then use the money that you get from sweating. If you wanted to start getting some shares and deeds, you can start getting some shares and deeds. You know, especially if you give yourself, like, I know some people have a sweating budget. Like, this is the amount of bottles of sweat I want to sweat per day. You know, some are as low as like 500, others are as high as like, you know, oh, I saw one guy, he was, if I don't sweat 4K sweat, then, you know, it's a pretty shit day. Hey, we got some ironstone. Cool. Very cool. Ironstone is nice. I like ironstone. Anyway, so when it comes to investing, like, you tend to invest when you've got enough money. And I got really lucky, so I've been able to sort of play and invest just from getting some really, really fucking lucky drops over the last year or two. I think it's, yeah, over the last year or two. You know, for instance, I got 1,000 PED Hoff from the Maphoids. I got a 1,000 PED Hoff from a Tripudion. I think it was like a level 6 or a level 8 Tripudion. And I got I of course got that shopkeeper pad. So that was able to set me up so I was able to play for quite a long time. I was able to fund my giveaway, and I was able to invest some stuff. So, huzzah for me. But for those of you that might not get, or even have the ability to deposit, sweating is rather important, in my humblest of opinions. Now, when it comes to actual investing, right, there's a thought of, should you invest your PED in your skills, or should you invest your PED into shares and deeds? I'm of a mind where you should do both, right? And now that could very well hinder you. Okay, so right now I've probably got about like 1,600 PED of or close to 1,600 PED worth of shares at the moment. Now, I could take that and I could play for probably the next month or two, hunting lower level mobs. Not super low level mobs. I'm talking like, I could be hunting Mathoids and things like that. They are a lower level mob, but they are a high level mob. They're not a super high level mob. They're sort of like a mid tier mob. I'm not really sure at what position you would put them. But I could sell all my shares, and I could put all of my PED that I get into just playing the game and just leveling up my skills and all that sort of stuff. And I could potentially then be like, okay, if I get a Hoff, then I could then put some stuff in to shares or whatever. But I think the better way to go is to give yourself a budget each week. See how much PED you have of that budget, like, by the end of that week. Like, if you've got, like, say you gave yourself a 200 PED budget, and by the end of that week you have, like, 30 PED left. Yeah, you could go into the next week with 230 PED in your budget. Or you can put that 30 PED into buying, right now the flat one is, like the flat 10 PED one, would be something like Ancient Greece. You could put your PED into that, and then it's not that much, but by the end of the year you'll have a few hundred shares, I reckon. Let's see, so 30 in 10 weeks, so 3, 6, 9, 12. You'll have about 150, and that will be getting you like a passive. Shit, what would that be getting you? That would be getting you a passive, like around about 1 ped 50 a week, sometimes 3, if you're lucky enough to get a double day. But this game can be very peculiar, okay? Because there is that sort of drive to, I just want to level up, but there is also that drive of, I want to be able to build upon my assets. It's such a weird game, and I think it depends on your mindset. I know some people, because they deposit so much, they just don't give a shit about the what did you call it? The investing aspect. But I can understand that. I can understand people going, I'm already investing. Ooh, everything's gone all skewy. I can understand people going, look, I invest like 2,000 PED a month. I've got that much disposable income. I'm throwing in like 200 PED a month, like 200 USD a month. So, I don't really feel the need to, slowly build up my shares and deeds over time, blah, blah, blah. I mean, if someone was putting in that much per month, the equivalent of like 2,000 PED a month, I would definitely recommend they do invest in things like shares and deeds. I would 100% recommend they do that. But if they're like, no, I want to spend all my PED on just hunting or mining or whatever they enjoy, then, that's up to them. So you really need to sit back and you got to think, okay, what do I want to do? You know, do I just want to play? Do I just want to throw money in and have a good time? You know, and a lot of people do that. A lot of people will do that, not just in Entropia Universe, but for everything else. Like, you think about, now I like to fish, so I'm going to use the fishing analogy. You know, I could pay, like, I could buy a, $200 fishing rod, $300 reel. I could get the best line, the highest quality hooks, the best kit ever, all to go fishing to catch, like, the equivalent of, like, $5 worth of fish if I catch fish. Or I might not catch anything, right? You're doing it for the fun of it, right? You're doing it because you're having fun fishing. Now, with Entropia Universe, you're going to have fun playing the game. And if it's a game that you really love, then, I don't see any fault in not investing and just using all of your PED to play and have fun. In fact, I kind of did that the other day. I sold my Arcadia Underground deeds because I was planning on buying Ancient Greece shares instead, because in my mind they just seem like a little bit better of an option. And at least I know that from this point they can only get higher in value, and they are indeed paying out relatively decently. And the way I thought about it, well, with the ancient Greece shares, for the just over 1,000 PED that I had worth in Arcadia Underground deeds, I would get either 1 or 2 PED a week. With the Arcadia Underground deeds, I might only get either 70 to a maximum of like 1.4, like 70 PEC or 1.4 PED, just because it pays out once per day. And even if it pays out, like, even if by some miracle all 7 days it pays out as a triple, all 7 days pays out as a triple, then it'll only be it'll be 1, amazing, but 2, it'll only be a little bit extra, and that extra I can get from sweating. At least with Ancient Greece, it costs less to get more shares to, in the end, get potentially more per week as opposed to per day. Like, it is a little bit of head math, and I do also just like Ancient Greece, so there is a little bit of personal bias to my liking to Ancient Greece, but I do think that Ancient Greece at the moment is a good one to invest in. But anyway, I sold my Arcadia Underground deeds, and then I decided to go and hunt Maphoids for ages. Well, I mean, firstly I bought my 5B plates back, right? So I bought them back. But then I decided to hunt Maphoids for a while, and I got just global after global after global after global, and I ended up coming away with like an extra 200 PED anyway, so huzzah for me. Huzzah for me. Anyway, let's see what we got back. So, of course, we got our little token, and we got our basic stone extractor. So let's have a look at this. So basic stone extractor, okay, so it's 133% for the month. And for the tier 1 component, it's about 100 I'll say about 113, yeah, 113. So, not bad, but let's have a look what we got back in total. So, we'll put this in there, and we'll also put our stones in there. So, we came back with 58.63. So that is a loss of about, what would that be? About 17 PED from that, which is not insignificant. But right, when it comes to hunting, if I was to instead of 75 PED, I was to hunt with 750 PED, there's a fair chance that would swing around, and I saw that a lot with the Maphoids, where it'll start to dip. And then I'll get a series of either minis or I'd get a large global, and then I'm back up to around about 95 to 100%. And then when you equate for markup, then you're well over. So, yeah. Anyway, guys, that's been me for today. Spoke about a few different things, investment, stuff like that. You guys know that this is just a place where I kind of just do a little bit of a brain dump of just thoughts and things like that. So, if you enjoyed the video, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you're new. And I should state for those of you that have made it to the end of this video, because I know a few of you will have stuck around to the end, because I always do the whole, type banana. Actually, yeah, type banana into the comment section if you made it to the end of the video. But I'm going to be, now that I'm feeling a little bit better within myself, I'm about 95% of the way there now, guys. If you heard from my previous video, I'm about 95% of the way there. I'm going to start, regular uploads again, and all will be fun. I'm not going to tell you what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to keep that to myself, which I think is the best idea. If I just keep the ideas to myself, then you guys you get what you're given. But I think some of them you guys are going to enjoy. At least a few of you guys will enjoy some of the stuff that I'm going to be doing. Anyway, you'll take care, stay safe, and I'll see you in the next one.